It's time to unleash Quest Asteroid Shaman onto the Dual Class Tavern Brawl that is available for this week. Essentially, this allows us to use two classes in any deck. And to do this, we are going to be using Shaman and Demon Hunter. Unleash the classes is the Demon Hunter quest. That makes it where you have to deal 2 damage to an enemy 12 times. Giving you the Colossus, that makes it whenever you do 2 damage, then it will do 2 additional damage. However, with Shutter Block in the equation, that 2 damage now becomes 8 damage, which makes it very easy to OTK your opponent by either using Lava Flow or any of the asteroids that will be randomly generating through the Asteroid Package from Shaman. So for the Mulligan guide, first thing you're going to be watching out for is going to be draw power cards, especially those that can give you 2 damage, such as Chaos Strike or Triangulate. Then you're going to be looking for things like Moonstone Mauler or Infestation as a way to get some 2 damage online really quickly. Finally, Wyvern's Slumber is great to keep in your opening hand if you know the opponent's deck might be something more aggro based. Now, with all being said, let's look at some games. Okay, Rogue. I'm curious of what little incidental synergies that people are coming up with Rogue in this Tavern Brawl. Honestly, I've seen this is a reverse, but I've seen someone do Paladin and Rogue with the Rogue quest, but in Paladin with using Imbue. Okay, so it is quest. Interesting. So there's a few angles that they could possibly be taking this. They could be taking it down the Asteroid route. The Imbue route doesn't work because they're playing it in Rogue instead of Paladin. Oh, that is really cool. Okay, so some insider knowledge. If I don't end up doing another Tavern Brawl video, the next video that will be on the channel is going to be Jade Druid. I have some really fun replays for that deck, and it should be really cool. Either that'll be Monday of next week, or it'll be Wednesday of next week. Maybe. I don't know. It depends if I'm actually doing more Tavern Brawl stuff or not. I might just do this as a one-off thing, even though like this is cool and fun. I need to see if I can come up with another like fun combo that I really would like to showcase on the channel. Honestly speaking, the main reason why we're doing this one in particular is because I kind of promised it like last week. And by promised it last week, I mean the standard version of Quest Demon Hunter instead, but I just couldn't get the deck to work how I wanted to, and Shutterblock actually kind of does exactly what I was trying to do with the Zai Infinite Loop combo, but we don't need to like loop it over multiple turns, which would matter. Also, again, the Jade cards or the Jade combo is really cool. That would be the second video if I was going to make one, if I wasn't already doing a Jade Druid list on the channel. So it is what it is. There has to be some weird other wacky combo that I can come up with maybe later tonight that could maybe be like a Saturday video. If I do, there wouldn't be a community post on the YouTube channel, probably, if we do a second one, because I'm going to be out of town for the majority of the weekend. I'd have it preset to upload. It also depends on like how well this video actually does. If this video does well, then I will actively consider it, which means I'll actively get enough footage to be able to even consider it, right? Maybe we try something with Draenei's. Maybe that'll be the other deck. Since we just did a Draenei list, that could be kind of fun. Kind of proving the point, like, if we had multiple classes with Draenei, we could actually make them work. I don't know. Story of Barnabas. Okay. Draw a card. I will also say this. There was another version of this list before I got to this one using the Starship cards. And then I was like, wait a second. Why am I just trying to RNG my way into getting the 2 damage AoE to everything when I can use like Triangulate to get additional copies of Slumber and such? Which was a good decision. Feels a lot better than the previous one. Coin 2. I really like the idea behind this deck. This is a really... I'm trying to think of like what build around cards that have been long forgotten that would be kind of like a cool like second video to do. I know it would be just easy to do like another quest deck, but like I would love to be able to do something a little bit different. Mixologist, please give me the AoE. It is an AoE. It's okay though, I guess. It can draw us into one, right? Huh? Okay, I mean, 2 damage directly to face is actually pretty good. Okay, I'm just going to try to get our quest as progressed as humanly possible here. Okay. I also, the taunt wall, maybe I should have saved that for later. I think we go face. I don't think they can win this turn if I don't destroy their minions. But we could also, I think we'll actually use Meteor Storm here. Actually, no, we won't. We'll set up next turn. Okay. That gets rid of at least one of them. And then we can hex the other. I wish we had 2 hexes, actually. To be fair, also, the other reason why I kind of moved towards this version instead of the Starship version that I was briefly testing was because, like, the Starship cards were just taking up way too much space, and I wanted to have hex in case for, like, if my opponent was playing something like this, or, like, if my opponent was playing, I don't know, Sandre Warrior, because I did run into that. That was kind of a cool deck, too. It was Warrior plus Demon Hunter, using the bat to get a bunch of Sandres. Really cool idea. There's a lot of really fun ideas in this brawl. Though it is also worth mentioning, I don't think Insidious has come up a single time so far. Also another card that I really want to do something with again at some point. I just don't know when. I'm trying to think like how we could make it work. I mean, this doesn't get rid of too many of them, but it gets rid of some of them. I times like this is what I wish I had included Bob here, but oh well. I think we should be fine. Slumber would be a insane top deck, actually. Slumber would get rid of everything, right? Slam down or quest reward. Slumber gets everything besides the 13 HP. Oh, okay. We are still in it. I don't know for how much longer, but we are still technically in it. So that should get rid of everything. Okay. Sucks that we can't get rid of that. But if playing the druid version of that list taught me anything, you end up having so many of the little dudes in your deck that you just can't draw into anything else. And if you can't win because of that, it just sometimes like it is nice to get the Jades online as quickly as possible, but at the same time, it backfires really quickly too. Okay. I'm trying to think Okay, so anything we draw into lava flow. Okay, this might look a little bit weird. I'm going to risk drawing into a bunch of cards to maybe be able to do enough damage. I'm just hoping this draws me into something that's useful or gets them low enough, actually, because it's 8 damage a pop. I mean, I will take the slumber number 2. It doesn't get rid of everything, but does get rid of a good chunk of them, which is what we need at 1 HP. And they've used both O managers, so I'm not worried about that. We just can't let them keep any minion. This is going to buff them up to where... Yep, that's not going to work. Okay, so we have to use Lava Flow here. It gets rid of them both. And does a little bit of damage to their face, too. I still can't believe we're in this still. Such a neat idea for a deck, though. Okay, they're at 15 HP. We have... Infant Station would be the best top deck in the world right now. Come on. Asteroid, if it hits face, we're in a good position too. Come on. I just need one to hit face. Is that enough? No, but that could be. Come on, something good. That's it. That's it. This loss must sting a little bit. There's a few fun Paladin decks it could be. There, to be fair, there were a few ideas that I had for Paladin in particular that required Lanessa. That because all of the tourists are banned, they can't work. Okay. I'm just going to do a little bit more damage. I'm curious if they're actually using any Shaman cards or not. I'd assume Shaman is the dual class card that you would, or class you would use that for. Trying to think of like what other class you would use for the Paladin quest. There just isn't enough interest. Well, we could maybe do like a rogue Paladin quest where we're trying to bounce, like, we'll try to buff up, what is the card called? Buff up Bacon Body Watcher or Bodybuilder, whatever it's called, and then bounce a Dirty Rat back to the hand multiple times. That could be kind of fun. Would also, like, check off Quest Paladin from the list of things to do. There's just some decks that I don't know. I know someone also wanted to maybe see a Aura Paladin list. That will probably have to wait until we're back to standard videos. But it is on my, like, I remember about it. Some of the things that people have suggested, I don't always remember, but there's some decks that stick out in my head of being like, that would be fun to do. And we eventually do get to them on the channel. We can get rid of the entire board here. I think we'll hero power. Nah. There is an argument that we could have just hero powered and hit into the 1/1 and then kept the 2/1 up, but by making sure the 2/1 hits into that, progress the story a little bit more. Okay, let's use Meteor Storm. Okay. Hey, oh, that actually clears everything. I wasn't really looking to use this like instantaneously, but I mean, it's better than taking the damage to face. And then next turn we can slam down the quest reward. We're probably not going to be able to do the full combo, which kind of sucks because we don't have the Shutterblock in hand, but I think this is a matchup where we just got to go quick. And the memes have to be memes, sadly. Divine Brew. Well, if I had the Hex, it would be really, really nice, but we don't. Oh, there's the Hex. Nah, we go for Asteroid. Try to get quickly in there for damage. And also shuffling more into the deck should help us out a bit more. Okay, there's Razor. Ooh. Well, actually, you know what? This isn't that bad of a scenario. If they trade with that, everything's going to have 4 HP, which means they're in range for Slumber, which is pretty nice. Oh, Lava Flow is actually kind of funny too. Okay, how do I want to do this? If we hit into this, that gets rid of that. And then a Lava Flow won't finish them off, but it gets them really low. And we know they have the Divine Bruise in hand. That's just perfect. Okay, bye-bye. All right, now we're through the game. So let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So I played 15 games with the deck, ended up with a 73% win rate, which was better than I actually kind of expected. I was really trying to push Quest Demon Hunter in Standard last week. However, this Tavern Brawl gave me a great excuse to revisit the idea with something that will only exist for a week. Now, because this Tavern Brawl only exists for exactly 1 week, I can't recommend you to craft any of these decks, but let me know down below if you'd be more interested into seeing another video based off of the Tavern Brawl, or if I should just stop here. And if you are playing the Tavern Brawl, what weird, wacky combinations have you seen that you would love to see me either show on the channel, maybe later in the week, or you have been playing yourself? But like always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, bye-bye.